can't be at the Ranger fan.
This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
Hello there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, report to the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You are watching the one and only Blueshirt Underground show with Jim and Eddie. My name is Jim. As always, I am joined on the other side of this window by the great, the one and only, the ready for vacation, Eddie Geik. Eddie, good evening. How are you, sir?
Woohoo! I'm doing very well, Jim. Yes, I am going on vacay for 10 luxurious days with annoying people. According to the Facebook group of these people, driving me crazy already. But social media, once again, and I'll get into it later when we have some time. But glad to be here, doing well. Glad to see you. So you've been vacationing a little bit with the kids, the significant other.
Took the kids down to Virginia a couple weeks ago. We went to King's Dominion. Had a good time. It was during that heat wave, so it was miserable hot. But we persevered, and we're back and counting down. We got 14 days to we return to South Florida to go to Florida Keys.
Wow.
I'm going to see the one and only Joe Catroni. I will be in the same room as Joseph Catroni for the first time in BSU history.
He stood me up many a time, Joe. I'm starting to think he might be like, what's his face? Oh, boy. Psycho's mother there. What's it? Norman Bates' mom. He may not really exist. I don't know. Yeah, good. Shake his hand firmly for me when you see him. I'm glad to see the chat room. I don't know. We got to call it a chat room. It's just the Facebook people have come out in the thousands. I see Matt Morello's here. Eric Vanko. Gotta get my glasses on here.
Mario Margotto is here.
Oh, the great Mario. George Van Horn.
What's the specialty?
I love him. I love me some Mario Morgado. He writes me good jokes. So,
Diane Eck is here.
Diane Eck, Liz Pendergast. I see Liz got some fellow. What do they live? Where she live in Oklahoma? Some shit.
Oklahoma, yes.
Oh, okay. Is that, do they call them Okies?
Better Scurry.
They call them Okies over there.
Oh yeah, Okie from Fano. I don't know.
You call them a fellow Okie. She actually recruited in Oklahoma. So,
yes,
hats off to you, Liz.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So the rest of you step it up. Liz is bringing in people from Oklahoma. Most of the rest of you live in a target-rich area full of Ranger fans. Who are you bringing us?
Yeah. Dan Demers is here.
Jacques Demers.
Dan Murphy, the great Dan Murphy.
Dan Murphy, who will be joining us at the convening at the Catroni breakfast.
Matt Morello, who is outside the Comac Inn right now. With some of its specialty rooms there, and right across from that Anthony's Cold Fire Pizza that I like. Have you ever had that, Jim?
Oh, yes. Johnny Prestano is here, the great John Baker.
Oh, wow. This is unbelievable. Standing room only.
One of my best friends down there. It's another one is the South Florida Luminaries.
Wow. SRO, standing room only here. Blueshirt Underground show.
Yes.
On July 31st, this place is packed. Let me ask you a question before we get rolling here. Have you heard of this thing, this Cameo thing that's all the craze now?
The group
You heard of this
Cameo?
thing? No, not the group Cameo.
I'm a little behind in the times here.
Now, now you got me. What was the name of their big song they had? Cameo. Was it Silent Morning? Was that Cameo?
I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to. George is from Columbus, Indiana, the flatlands of Indiana.
Cameo, the band. What was their big song? Word Up.
Oh yeah, Word Up.
What's the word? A word up. Word up.
Wow.
Okay,
Michael Silvers is here. Okay, now we've gone down to thousands. What's the question now?
Well, there's this new, I guess it's an
Cameo.
app. It's called Cameo.
Mm-hmm.
And what this thing is that it's a collection of celebrities, some A-list, some who are they list, some Z list. And you can pay these people, and I guess their price depends on how popular they are. They could probably get us for $1.50, or you can get like, I don't know, George Clooney for $1,000, and they'll send you some kind of video message that you create. Like I want, I don't know, I want Todd Rundgren to send Eddie Geik a video message because you're a big fan of his.
Oh yeah.
Todd, the great Todd.
Hello, it's me.
Hello, it's me.
That's what that would be my video message to him.
So and Todd Rundgren, I pay him $50, and he sends you a message. Hello, Eddie. This is Todd Rundgren.
It's a video message, right?
This is a real thing. Well, apparently, one of these Ranger podcasts paid Mark Messier $300 to do a video message, basically saying that they were the best Ranger podcast on the internet.
All right.
Joby Messier for free to tell you that this one's way better than anything else out there.
This is
I could get Frank Messer.
But how is that? All right. So he does a little spy, says, listen to I'm gonna ask you in about a second what the podcast it was. And
I don't know. I honestly don't know what podcast.
Oh, you don't know. Okay.
No.
How is that going to generate listenership? Because they've got to find you first.
But I'm sure they take that video and they post it on their Facebook or their Twitter or their whatever and say, "Hey, look, Mark Messier did a commercial for us," or whatever. But imagine $300. I can. Oh my. George Takei, and when I'm touching myself, I'm watching the Blueshirt Underground show with Jim and Eddie.
Oh, it's Blueshirt's Breakaway. Matthew Silver says it.
Oh, Blueshirt's Breakaway. Good for them.
Who's running that circus?
Are they the ones that hosted the forum and said that we weren't there because they didn't want us there? We weren't invited because they don't want us there?
Yeah. Guess what?
You're going to rub a hose, kid.
We get Coast to do a video message for us.
Nude.
No,
Fully nude.
He won't go nude. But
I bet he would. $10. Just
$10.
$10.
I don't think anybody wants to see that, Jim. That may propel any repel.
We get Costa naked doing an ad. This is Costa.
You can do it. Dress as Costa.
Listen to the Blueshirt Underground show.
Apparently,
he's on screen here waiting to come in. He's dying. He's in his chair, cracking up.
Rock says the guy Greg from Blueshirt Breakaway is a huge douche.
Of course he is.
Now here's a guy like Rock, right? I know he has allegiance to us, but this guy only wants to talk hockey. Rangers hockey is all he wants to talk. He don't care about baseball. He don't care about football. In the summer, he wants to talk hockey. He's searching everywhere, here and there, the stratosphere, the radiosphere, the globosphere, the sphere. I don't know. Have no fear. He's searching all over the place. And he finally finds
the spear.
Yeah.
The Shane got the spear.
Shane got the beer. Got the beer. Ed Beers, he's showing everything. Looking for it all. And he finds anything he can get his hands on. And he comes to his blue shirt breakaway and he goes, nah, this guy's a douche. So it shows you how much of a douche this guy is. And to pay $300 to have Mark Messier, I'd rather pay somebody relevant to today. Like, get who the hell's relevant? The Rangers right now. Get Panarin. Get Panarin to do it.
Right. $300. That's tip money for him.
Yeah. Or get some guy on an entry-level contract or a bridge deal. Does Buchnevich know how to speak English yet? He's only been in the country 32 years now.
This is Pavel Buchnevich, and there's only one thing that makes me smile, and it's the Blueshirt Underground Show with Jim and Eddie.
That's right. That's right.
See?
That's great.
There you go.
That's a $300 thing.
That's $300.
That's $300. Not to dig up this.
Or how about?
Oh, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Matt Gilroy. You're listening to the Blueshirt Underground Show with Jim and Eddie.
Still
That's
filling into his body. I'm still filling into my body at 29, whatever he is, 34. Yeah. Yes. Paulie D still continues to get hammered on this show. He's been out of radio for like 4 years. It's like,
oh, Paulie D?
Yeah, I just see.
I know. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like,
yeah, listen.
Paulie D's like Mark and Brian on the how, he's like the Mark and Brian of the Howard Stern.
He's just long gone, but he's just
the grease man. Paulie D, the grease man.
Yeah, I remember the grease man. Yeah, they used to bag on him all the time. They made up with the other guy though, just to get off the red. They made up with Brother Love, Bubba Love Sponge.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah, I think they made up with him.
Yeah. There you go. Costa's got an idea. Get Dice to do one. He'd do anything for money.
He would.
He'd $25. Oh, so Hickory Dickory Doc. This chick was sucking my cock. I'm watching the show with Jim and Eddie. The whole bit.
Hey, what are you, jerk off? Watch the show.
Right. That's how our back got started.
So,
Napa heads, you better watch the Blueshirt Underground Show with Jim and Eddie.
Unless he thinks he's an all serious actor because he's been in some serious films lately.
I'm an actor.
Yeah. So anyway, the big news, the big rumor is, so was the cameo thing you going to ask me? Would I do it? Is that the question?
Well, no, I was just I wanted to. That was just me prefacing, telling you this story about this other ridiculous podcast that paid Mark Messier $300 just to say that Blueshirt Breakaway or whatever the hell they're called is the best podcast on the internet.
How much would you pay Rafi Diaz?
How much would pesos? Pesos. So how many centavos would it take to get me Rafi Diaz? Could you imagine the whole music, the whole thing going off in the back? Or that would be great.
True.
What about Vinny Lettieri? What would Vinny Lettieri do it for?
Oh God!
Right? This is a Vinny Lettieri, and when I'm in the Little Italy, I'm always listening to the Blueshirt Underground Show with the Jim and Eddie. Buongiorno.
Yeah. Kenny.
Good. Vinny, good for you with your $300.
Vinny, get him out of here.
Signed a new deal.
Yeah, 1 year, thank God.
The Rangers know talent when they see it.
Yeah. Has he got 2 career goals as a Ranger?
Hey. That's 2 more than that Capo Caco.
Oh,
right?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you, sir? The big news, my friend. I mean, it's me and Jim were talking about this. The buyout window was not the window we thought. I thought the window was open. Now it was closed. waiting all day, waiting for announcements. But apparently, Jim, recap what the situation was. It started when Buchnevich signed. Then there were business days and
yes, apparently the window actually, from what I understand, the window starts based on when Buchnevich signed, and his deal wasn't filed until there it is. There's the window. The deal wasn't signed until Saturday, and it's 3 business days or something like that. So the window actually doesn't start.
It's like I'm waiting for a check to clear.
Right. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So the window actually doesn't open until, if I understand correctly, and again, the New York Post is the only source I have on this, so who knows if it's true or not, but apparently it opens at midnight tonight, and the Rangers are expected to, everyone is reporting that the Rangers will be buying out Kevin Shattenkirk. So
Shattenkirk, the man who wanted to come here. You know what? This is my new thing. The guys who want to come here that are from New York, I don't want them here.
Right. Chris Higgins, don't want you.
I
Chris
don't
Drury,
want you.
don't want you.
I always wanted to be I know. If you want to
as
come
soon as
here,
I hear I always wanted to be a Ranger, get lost. Get out of here. Goodbye. Get out of here, you bum.
Exactly. I don't want you anymore. Because once you hear, you stink the joint up.
From now on, we want guys that grew up Flyer fans and hate the fucking Rangers. Tony D'Angelo.
Right.
Be
somebody who hates the Rangers and then come here.
Right. I want to see tweets from them from 10 years ago that say, oh, these goddamn Rangers, I can't stand them. That's what I want. Those are the guys I want on my team from now on.
Well, we used to get the guys that used to kill us, and then they stunk.
Right.
Like, all right, we want to cut with Jay Wells, but he used to destroy the Rangers, and he wasn't that much of the playoffs. That Game 7 was crazy for him. And then we remember Darius Kasparaitis. He used to kill us.
Right.
Kill us. And then he was a colossal waste of space. So it doesn't always work out, but I'm sick and tired of he took a discount. Whoa, we're getting a big discount with Shattenkirk.
Right.
I mean, he already was a clearance item when we got him. I don't know. I thought he was an abysmal Ranger. If this would have been time, now you can tell me about all the assists and all this, and I knew he wasn't like a top tier offensive defenseman, but other than getting the shots through to the net, I didn't see anything that he could do well. He didn't have a great shot. I mean, he was a second-tier defenseman. He really was what he was. We knew what we were buying. I just thought he'd be more effective. And on a team that may have had more expectations, we would have been all over him if the Rangers were a playoff team and not in the middle of a rebuild. So he's just, who's that? Oh, that's Buchnevich. Oh, look at Buchnevich. See? He's doing our ad. This is a cameo right now.
Right. He's smiling.
He's smiling.
The only thing that makes me smile is the Blueshirt Underground show.
You're going all over the place with that accent. It's like me when I
got to work on it. I got to work on it.
I also want to thank Eric Vanko, who said in the chat room that he said that we rocked. And if there's one thing me and Jim have always strove to do, if that's a word, it is to rock. So thank you so much. I need somebody, and Jim, what was your take on Shattenkirk here?
Everybody needs somebody. What was my take on Shattenkirk? We never got to see the real Kevin Shattenkirk. The guy was hurt. The guy was hurt a month after he showed up here, and he was never the same. So
wasn't he come out of shape? Wasn't he out of shape from one camp?
That was the rumor that he showed up at his first camp a little out of shape. But again, I don't think we ever saw the real Kevin Shattenkirk. And what are you gonna do? Shit happens, and we move on.
Exactly. We got to move on for this. But my question to you, my friend, is this. I mean, maybe you could figure this out. Maybe somebody on the damn internet can figure this out. I have no idea where the Rangers' finances are. How much are we saving by the buyout? What's he do? 2 years left on his deal, right?
They 3, I think.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was $3 million. 3 years. They will save $47 million this year, and then have a dead cap hit of $320 trillion next year, or something like that.
Oh, wow, that's a big savings.
Yes. I think they're saving $5 million this year, is what Andre is reporting from the chat room. Matt Morello is reporting that Joe Fortunato just got a hard on because we talked about Buchnevich. So I think it's a $4 or $5 million savings this year, and then I think it's a $1.5 million in dead cap space next year, and the year after, something like that.
Well, I thought Rick Carpinella made a pretty good analyzation that Shattenkirk probably would have rode the pine a lot next year. I mean, I'm telling you, the Rangers have we said it, log jam, I don't know, a butt funnel, I don't know what you call it, of defensemen.
A butt funnel?
Well, I don't know. I pulled that out of my ass, literally. Get that. They have a little butt funnel of defensemen. I mean, I don't know how it's going to look. They're going to have, they're going to have a lot of competition for defensemen next year. So,
especially righty defensemen. Now we've got some. D'Angelo, you've got Adam Fox, you've got who am I forgetting? There's somebody else in there too. Somebody, I don't know. I'm forgetting.
I tell you, it's funny because you'll be really sharp on it, then you go like on vacation and you forget all about it. It's like, who's on the Rangers again?
Right.
That's how I'm going to be. Let's see. Well,
still got Hank.
Well, you'll never forget him. So yeah, I mean, you've got the Hayeks, the Brady Shays, the Mark Stalls. It's going to be a competition there, I think, for the Trouba, of course, the newly signed Jacob Trouba.
There you go. Trouba's the other right-handed defenseman, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
there's no room for. We got no room for Shattenkirk. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know from Shattenkirk anymore.
What about did we discuss? I don't think we discussed the Trouba deal.
I believe the Trouba deal came down after our last show. Trouba was just Friday, I think, wasn't it?
I think this man may have predicted that Jacob Trouba would be signed. Greetings. And
I was going to get the music.
Oh, okay. What's next? What will the great Rangerio predict? I predict, my friends, blessings. Holy cow. Blessings. I'm waiting for the song. Blessings to all you Ranger fans who have joined me. I predicted that Jacob Trouba would be signed. When is the music coming up? Hello. Here we go. My friends, I talk to you as one Ranger fan to another. I told you Jacob Trouba would sign. I told you.
I'm expecting to see a snake come up from behind Eddie.
I told you that Kevin Shattenkirk would be bought out. And I told you that Chris Kreider will be traded. But the third has not come true, my friends. Where is this music? I'm not doing this bit anymore.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. There it is. There it is.
Blessings, my friend.
At the window muted. I'm sorry.
Jacob Trouba has signed. Now I sound like Count. And now he signs for not one, not two, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 years. So I predicted that. Chris Kreider, I said I predicted he'd be traded. But what do you think now, my friends? Do you think trade him now, optimum value, trade him at the deadline, or re-sign him? Swami is a bid you adieu. Namastinkov.
Namaste.
All right. Oh my God.
All right.
Wow. Sorry about that. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way we plan. But it's all impromptu. And hey, listen,
It
primarily
worked out just fine.
this crap is for free.
Right. Right. If you want Mark Messier to endorse this show, we're going to need $300 stat. Because apparently he could be bought. Tough times must be tough if he could be bought for $300. What do you think we could get Greshner for? A change in your couch cushions?
You get one of those airplane bottles of Jack Daniels.
How about Glenn Anderson? We probably have him for a
salmon sandwiches. Salmon sandwiches. A 4-day-old scone.
4-day-old scone.
So the Swami has predicted things. I posed the question about Chris Kreider. I think we all come to the decision we need to trade him now. But does this buyout window now affect? I mean, are we going to have, I don't know. Does this affect anything? Is there a chain reaction? I mean, how much space do we have? This is what I need to know. I don't. Do we have enough time?
Right now, I think they only have like $1 million in cap space until the Shattenkirk buyout.
Okay. Until or after.
Costa's the money man. We got to ask Costa
because they haven't signed D'Angelo, right? And they haven't signed Lemieux yet.
Right, so but they're just going to get a qualifying order or offer. It's going to be like $800,000 or something like that. So,
I don't know. So I'm
probably really prepared for these questions.
I know. Well, listen, it's the summertime.
It's summertime,
and there's always somebody who knows something more. I'm just here for putting on hats and acting like a carnival clown.
Right. You're on vacation in 12 hours. I got 2 weeks.
I will be wearing Ranger flip-flops.
There you go.
So I will be representing. My wife, this does relate to Ranger fandom in a way. Well, first of all, I was telling Jim before the show, they have a Facebook group now. You go on a cruise. You know how you meet people for the first time now? And this is where social media has gone completely off the rails. Now they have a Facebook group for your cruise. So people talk to each other on Facebook about their cruise before they actually meet each other on the cruise. And people ask questions like, can you bring a curling iron? Okay. Questions like that. It's a little helpful. But you got these gloomy gusses that are like, oh, there's an earthquake in St. Martin's. I'm like, and I can't help but not respond because I'm just one of those guys. So I'm typing, hey, Storm Field, put it back in your pants. Well, the Captain Stubing will take care of the boat. We don't need you to getting all worried and all negative Nelly on me. Then some lady, and I swear this is true, Jim. I swear, she writes, "How does the boat get electric? Does it have its own solar panels, or is there a string that runs underneath the ocean from the dock?" Come on, that can't be serious. They have an extension cord that goes across the South Pacific, you dope. Come on. So anyway, bringing it back around to Ranger Town, of course, my friend John is always constantly wants me to promote the show. He goes, oh, there's a Ranger fan wearing a Ranger shirt on his picture. Get him to listen to the show. I go, he don't look like Blueshirt Underground material. He's I don't know. He looks like a dope. They go, he looks like that dopey Bob Groder. I'm like, yeah. So my wife goes, you know, there's a guy named Rob Groder going to be on this cruise. I go, what? She goes, yeah, go on the Facebook page. I hope it ain't the Rob Groder. Yeah, that's me and my wife on the cruise. Saw the new Leonardo pick with Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Any good? I have not heard good reviews.
I think if you are a diehard Tarantino aficionado, you will not like this film as much as his others. For me, I liked it, but for different reasons. So let's get back to the Rangers. What do you people feel? I mean, what do you give? I always ask you guys, the faithful, I want your input on the comments. Shattenkirk, let's give him a grade as a Ranger. And please, no incompletes. I don't want to hear that. I know. Are you going to say he was injured? They said, he played? How many games he played, Jim?
I don't know. Probably 60 some odd games. I don't know.
Yeah, it's worse than the Hateful Eight. I liked Hateful Eight, though. So, but everybody's got different.
Kevin Shattenkirk played.
I see C-.
119 games as a New York Ranger, had 7 goals, 44 assists. There you go, 51 points in 119 games.
It's horrible. Not horrible, but
it wasn't good. But he wasn't healthy. You're not buying it, is what you're saying. You're not buying it. He wasn't healthy, or you don't care. It's not an excuse.
I don't care. I don't know. People giving him C's. I seen an F from Andrei Kozlovsky. Ryan Leach says, I think on a more competitive team, he could have shown more. He was on the Capitals. They didn't get to the cup with him.
I'll give him a D. I can't fail the handicapped.
All right. So you got
Ryan Leach wants to see Kevin Shattenkirk's heat map.
Heat map. Oh yeah. So you got that. I would probably give him a D. Where, Jim? Incomplete? You want to go incomplete? I'll allow an incomplete.
No, it's all right. I'll give him a D.
All right. I just feel like I want to play in New York. This is where I want to be. I mean, I just never got a vibe from him. And I can't wait to get a vibe from a Ranger. And I don't mean a vibrator. I mean just a vibe. I want a Ranger okay, for all his failings and all, that's my echocardiogram right here. That one in the middle to the left, that's my echocardiogram.
This man's dead.
That's my DNA chart. Yeah, this is where I'm part Asian and 7% Jew, which I am actually. I found that out on my I had one of those things done.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm Eastern European Jew. This explains a lot.
Good for you. Mazel tov.
Thank you. Who is that? What is that? We're looking at some heat map here.
That's from icydata.hockey. That is his goals heat map, and that's his area heat map, and that's his versus the league heat map, and that's his shots heat map, and that's his heat map. And
it looks like it's partly cloudy in that section.
Right.
These people, come on! This is what these idiots look at.
This is not hockey.
Exactly. It looks like Alaska. Oh, it is Alaska. Sorry. It's America.
Yeah, Alaska. He's Alaskan. 4 million.
Going back to my, what is this shit? You're right. It's not hockey. What is this? Geography? I got to learn geography. Oh, God. These kids need to be killed that follow this shit. Everything is not computers. You're ruining the sport. You're ruining the sport with this stuff. All right. Maybe I went too far with the kids need to be killed, but still.
We love him. 4 million.
But I was speaking about vibes, right? And for all that we made a song about Brandon Dubinsky, I think Brandon Dubinsky had a Ranger vibe, don't you think?
Yeah.
Hey, he was about the Rangers. You saw him as a representation of the Rangers. I mean, he used to talk shit against Crosby. He
Right.
was pesky.
Did he go out there and paint the logo on the ice or something like that?
Yeah.
When he was with the Rangers, didn't he do something like that?
Exactly. Even Callahan. Callahan had a Ranger vibe.
Ottawa Senator Ryan Callahan.
Yeah, that was well, I understand why they moved it. They need to make the cap floor, so they just took on they're going to put him on long-term injured reserve.
Right.
But
and I'm sorry, but if there's any doubt that the NHL is just a ridiculous league, it's that type of thing is allowed to go on.
Right.
They're going to carry a guy who's never going to play. They're going to pay a guy on their cap who's never going to play a game for them. And I think Florida did it with Nathan Horton, and I think Flyers did it with Pronger. I think
could be. Yeah.
How is that allowed? I mean,
Well, yeah, I know. It reminds me of like to reach the cap floor. Like, really, you can't spend enough money. Like, you don't want to make your team better. You just rather go like in at minimum. I mean, that shows me that your team has no interest in making the playoffs.
Right.
I mean, what does that say to your fan base? And that thing shouldn't be allowed to go on like that. And I think you're exactly right. This is it's like a culture of like losing, but listen, we'll still make a profit. It goes on in baseball. I know, I don't follow baseball. I remember it was 5-6 years ago. It could have been longer when the Pittsburgh Pirates they always make a profit, but they don't invest. I guess the Mets too, you could say that. The Mets will make a profit even though they don't spend any money. And if they do spend any money, it's on ridiculous players. But
right.
Which leads me into another sports argument, which is not really an argument, but can you I'm going to say this to the Mets, but say the Rangers, they've acquired Panarin, okay? They buy out Shattenkirk. I don't know. Who else have they acquired? Okay, Adam Fox they got in the offseason. Let's see. Who else did we acquire? Trouba. Okay. Now, do you blame the GM if those guys don't produce this season? Do you say, that was an awful, awful signings? Meanwhile, at the time, we all wanted those guys and said that was a good deal. If those guys shit the bed, do you say, look what Gorton did? He signs Panarin to this long deal. They go out and they get True before this money's supposed to be so good. Similar to like with the Mets getting Diaz, where the guy's got like 50 saves, and now this guy can't close an inning in the 14th inning. I mean,
right. 50 saves against bad teams.
I mean, does the GM always carry that weight because he acquires the guys or the guys get hurt? Like Cespedes, everybody kind of wanted that deal when it happened, but now, the guy gets hurt like, moving lawn chairs. Like, I mean,
right.
How much does the GM, I guess that the buck stops there, I guess.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, certainly he's, if this still all doesn't work out, it's going to fall on his shoulders. But there is, except for a very select few of the negative Nelly Ranger fans, I mean, you haven't heard a bad word about anything the Rangers have done this offseason for the most part. I mean, everybody that I consider a hockey expert, and I don't mean just somebody with a Twitter account. I mean, like people that I really trust their opinions on what goes on in the sport have said the Rangers have had a phenomenal offseason. And I think I've been watching them long enough to say, yeah, this is a phenomenal offseason. If it doesn't work out, then it's just, bad luck. But I'm not faulting anything they've done so far this summer. I'm okay with everything. Except maybe hiring Tanner Glass to run player personnel out of Seattle. I don't really understand that, but whatever.
We got a new coach in Hartford of the Wolfpack.
We do. Another handsome Dan down there.
Who really is he? A handsome young man?
He is a good looking gent. Yeah.
Really? You know what Closer would say? No homo.
No homo.
He's always asking the same thing. You got a picture of this guy? Let me see. Let me check him out.
Let's see. Chris Knob is. Let me get a gander at him. His name is Chris Knobloch. He was an assistant coach with the Flyers at one point. Let me find a good.
That ain't thrilling me.
Here we go. Here's a good one. Open image, new tab. Share your desktop screen. Chrome tab. Share. And here comes the
knob man.
Yes.
What a knob.
There he is. Oh, look at that. There he is.
Oh yeah. He looks like somebody famous. Right? I don't know.
He's got like those those David Quinn good looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
I think Peter J. Fox asked the most important question. Why did they hire this guy?
He's actually very like I said, he was an assistant coach with the Flyers, but this guy has he's got extensive experience in the junior ranks. This is a guy that's worked with young players for a long time.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
He's only 40 years old. Let me see what else. Is there anything else about him here? He was with he was a head coach in the WHL. He was a head coach in the OHL. He coached Connor McDavid, Alex DeBrincat, Sam Reinhart.
Oh, I see.
So
Eric Donnelly is chiming in, said he's got good record with the youngsters.
INX says he's not good looking.
Really? He's got I don't really know about men. You can't tell. But isn't she Diane in love with Chris Kreider?
Yes.
Swell. Look at his thighs.
Look at his thighs.
So it looks like, you know what? You could offer me $1 million and I couldn't tell you who coached that team last year.
Keith McCambridge. Keith Cambridge. That's it.
And you were wrong on the first one.
Dan Janander. Dan Janander.
That's my answer. Who coaches him? Ken Janander. Everybody knows that.
Fred Shiro.
Wow. So this is going to be. I like this. I like this deal.
Larry Patey.
Oh God. So yes, you got. So that sounds like look. See, I could buy into that. You got a guy who works with youth. He's got some names associated to him. They got to develop that. It starts from the bottom. It starts from the roots. Now I'm going to go right back to the vibe. We've got it with these young guys. Somebody's got to come out with the Ranger vibe, and I do agree with the folks on Facebook right here joining us live on Facebook in the Blueshirt Underground show. Holy cow! Is that Larry Patey?
That is Larry Patey.
Yeah, I remember Larry Patey scoring against the Flyers one time. He was a checking center, I believe.
Right.
Anyway, so going back to the vibe, and I definitely think Lemieux has it. But that's a fourth line. But I mean, we got to have like a torchbearer. You know what I'm saying? Is Kako, is he going to be that guy? I'm not trying to put a burden on a 14-year-old kid. Well, how old? An 18-year-old kid. But, with all this extracting of all the old, the new, who's going to emerge with the Ranger vibe? The guy that's going to be like, he represents us. He's going to be... do they do that now? Do other teams have guys that speak out and really
Holy shit?
What happened?
Can I just tell you?
Tell me.
Anybody ever tell you you're good? You're good, you.
Me?
Larry Patey scored 1 goal as a New York Ranger, and it was against the Philadelphia Flyers. 1 goal in 16 games over 2 seasons. and it was against the Flyers. You are good. You are very good.
Thank you. I can't remember what day it was yesterday, but I can tell you that Larry Petty only scored one. Thank you. That makes me happy that I was Heedle.
You are good. You are very you are good.
I think Kreider might have the vibe, but it's I don't know. You would think Kreider would have the vibe. Right now, he's like really, other than Stahl and Hank and Tank. You should start that one. Go with Hank and Tank.
Right.
Daryl Powell. How dare you? Ron Beck? Who's Ron Beck? I don't remember Ron Beck.
Ron Beck.
Said had the vibe. Barry Beck had the vibe. Bruce Beck did not have the vibe. But
Bruce Bell?
Bruce Bell. Ooh, give him hell, Bruce Bell. So I don't know. It'll be funny to see who has that vibe that he's, where. Or does that exist? I posed that question earlier. Does that exist? Do the Islanders have a guy like that? Speaking of which, there was a little bit of a tussle in our group about Tolley.
You love a good tussle.
Anatoly was stepping on an Islanders hat in some store, and people were like, "How dare you ruin a good piece of merchandise?" And he got a little bit of blowback for that. Now,
I didn't really read into it. I just saw the picture and I said, that's good stuff. But look, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't like it, scroll on. That's all I can tell you. I know one of the comments came from a good friend of mine from Arizona, and she said it was classless. We're better than that. And I don't think we are. I don't think we are.
I mean, with all due respect, Jim's friend, this is a man who spit on Dennis Potvin picture at the Hall of Fame and also put his middle finger and filmed it.
Right.
So I have no.
Dennis Potvin retired, by the way. Did you see that?
Retired from
Fuck
the
him.
broadcast booth.
Luckily, he will continue to be honored at Madison Square Garden every night for the rest of his life.
Not if I have my druthers. My campaign to let it go, let it go. So I mean, I didn't think it. We've seen Islander hats burned in effigy. We've seen much worse than that. I mean, we can be classless. I don't want to, I mean,
we've earned it.
Listen, we don't win much. It's hard to be classy when you're a loser.
Right.
Save class for when you're a winner. Like Yankee fans, they can be, I don't know about that. But they, you win a lot, you can be classy. I'll give a tip of the hat. When you're a loser.
Yankee fans aren't classy.
Yeah, I know. I wish.
I love that saying. If assholes could fly, Yankee Stadium would be an airport.
Well, I think I've always said this. I think old school Yankee fans who suffered, they deserve.
Suffered what? 1967?
I'm talking like people who are like 5 years older than us, like the Mario Margot, the fucking the Yankees of the 70s. I mean, late 60s and early 70s sucked. Before Steinbrenner got there, they were terrible. They were awful.
When they were owned by CBS. Yeah, they were bad. Mickey Klutz and
had every
Clete
fucking
Boyer.
They had like all the Alou brothers that you could fucking
Mickey
name.
Lolich, Fritz Peterson swapping the wives.
They had Felipe Alou. They had Jesus Alou. They had every Alou brother. Alou Costello was playing the infield for them. Every
Alou Costello.
Alou Costello. They had them all. So those kids, they grew up. The Yankees sucked, and they got good. Steinbrenner, the rest is history. But yeah, I mean, again, it's the summer, so we're going to be crossing a lot of different avenues here, folks.
Right.
It just. Then you get used to winning. Where it started, where it was crosstown hate, I don't know. I think it was for the couple of years where the Mets were really good and the Yankees weren't good. So anyway, back to the New York Rangers. So we've got Shattenkirk. Now, Trouba, we didn't talk about the what was it?
About Buchnevich.
Yeah. What was the terms on the Trouba again? Was it now apparently he took a discount. Is that what they said? I don't know. We're always getting these discounts, but it never works out. It's like
It's like we buy our players at Filene's basement. 7 years, $56 million. I'd like to get that type of discount.
Yeah, really. It's hard to put that word discount when you see that kind of money thrown all around.
Right.
We'll see what I'm sure
he's really going to have to economize on that salary.
Oh, yeah.
Cut back on some things.
Wow.
I don't want him eating cat food.
Wow. I said, is it 7 years or 8 million? 8,056,000. You people got to get your ass straight here. Oh, okay.
I think it's seven
seven
years, 8 million a year.
Jay corrected himself. Because my Swami bit was all on 7. I didn't want to be wrong because people are going to rewind to see the Swami bit, and then I'll be saying 7 when it's really 8. But now it's
then we get letters.
We get letters coming.
Then we get letters.
No discount. No discount. They're saying now.
All right. No, whatever.
But what was the big deal with Winnipeg? Why couldn't they sign him?
I don't think he wanted to sign there. He didn't. I don't think he wanted to be there.
Well, I heard Liney might want out of there too now.
We'll take him too. What the hell?
No, he's not part of the rebuild.
Well, he's young enough to be rebuilt. I told you, Ryan Strome is 26. He's aged out of this thing now.
Dude, you just told me you got $1 million left. How are we going to get Liney?
I don't know. We'll backload it. $50 this year, $50 next year, and then $78 million in 2022.
Yes. Our boy, was it Xavier? I can never say this guy's name right. About
Savoie Kaushi.
Savoie Kaushi says that, well, he doesn't say, but did you see Vasilevsky signed for $9.5 million a year? He got what?
I guess that's what they did with Callahan's money, I guess.
It's just you can't sign goalies for this, and the term was long too. It was like 8 years or something. Yeah. I mean, you cannot sign goalies. They're going to be in the same situation the Rangers are in right now.
Right.
You cannot pay goalies this much money. It's just that they get hurt. They don't, I mean, the guys like Pecorini and his name escaped me, but these guys that are always on point every year, they're hard to find. And this guy's a guy who just shit the bed in the fucking playoffs. This is the guy you're going to invest in? I mean, I don't know. Hey.
Not my team. I don't care.
Yeah, not my team. I don't care. They're in our conference, right? So more power to them stinking.
Right.
Yeah, let's see what Costa has to say. Let's liven up this broadcast a bit.
It's not lively enough?
It's like midlife.
Yeah.
Costa, where are you? In a hotel room?
I'm in my bedroom.
Oh.
Ooh.
I feel like ooh.
Because it's air conditioning in here. That's why. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go in my garage and freaking in a sauna in the garage. Are you nuts?
Ah.
You're not.
Nobody's home. I'm home by myself.
Are the parents in the homeland?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh. Look at you in the bachelor pad.
Okay.
Yes. No, nobody home. Nobody watching you. Every move and the whole.
I can throw my shit around. I can be a pigsty in the house.
Yeah. Just throw your shit all around. Nobody cares. Yeah. I'm feeling you, bro.
Okay.
So, all right. So, give us your thoughts.
Something serious. No, let's get serious for a moment.
Okay. Very serious.
If we buy out Shattenkirk and we bury Bolesky and Smith, we're going to have about 3.16 mil in cap space. What? Oh,
Okay.
What's with music?
That's the porno music. This is where he goes to his bedroom. I'm sorry. I know you want to be serious.
All right. Let him be serious.
All right. Go ahead.
Boom, bow, boom, bow, boom, 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 bow.
Wow, wow. You never find as long as you live.
What happened to the show?
These are always my favorite shows.
All right. Anyway.
All right, Costa. So, all right. So your point is, all right. We did this financials here. What's this matter?
The point is now we can sign Lemieux and Tony, our boy Tony. Once those three things are done.
Okay, and we still got the Kreider. Is that you think they're gonna put that on the back burner, or is he gonna be traded?
Let me ask you this: what do you want for Kreider realistically?
What if they were going to trade him? What do I want?
Yes. What do you think they can get realistically?
He's worth a first round pick.
Oh, sure. I think you should get a prospect in a first or second rounder.
I mean, if Kevin Hayes is worth a first round pick, isn't Kreider?
Yeah, but I think isn't Kevin Hayes younger?
Not that much.
But Kreider's a lot more productive.
Right.
Oh.
But the only thing is, if you're going to get a 1 for Kreider, he's going to a contender. He's not going to some bum team.
Trade him to Boston like we do everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to Boston. He's from there.
Exactly.
Be a homecoming.
Yeah, they love that over there.
He can go up there and get his bean pot.
He has 2 of them already.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Now what about our Russian friend, Namestikov?
The guy nobody wants.
Really? Are you serious?
No, nobody wants him.
Nobody wants him.
Rangers
I
can't.
would just play him.
I think the Rangers
and if you get him if somebody wants it at the deadline,
No, we understand we can't. Andre's getting a little feisty. We're not thinking.
Tell me to relax. I'm very relaxed.
Why would you buy him out? Why? Why would you buy him out?
Buy who?
Buy out who?
Namestikov. Why?
I didn't say buy him out. Nobody wants him.
That's what I'm hearing in the grapevine.
That makes no sense.
What grapevine are you listening to?
What do you? Come on, seriously. What do you listen to? That Blueshirt breakaway with that Fakaka the Mark Messier cameo video?
Oh God,
boy. Well, we got to come up with.
I am Mark Messier, and when I'm not banging Madonna, I'm listening to Blueshirt's breakaway.
I know what we should do. This is what we should do.
What should we do?
We want
get Joby Messier.
Listen. Let me tell you what
I'm sorry.
We're gonna go to this guy's breakaway site, right? And when that video thing comes in, we're gonna copy it, okay? And when he says the old #1 podcast, and then we're gonna dub in Blue Shirt Underground, and then he paid $300 for shit, and we'll get it close. I'll get the voice close. I'll try it. We'll both try. We'll send it around. We'll have a contest. Whoever gets
right, who can sound the most like Mark Messier.
And then that fucking idiot paid $300 for nothing, and we got it for free. That's how you do it.
We can. I mean, if we have some, we do have some people that are pretty skilled at video editing. We could put a Blue Shirt Underground banner behind Messier. We could really play it up.
We could do it up. And then if he has any more, we do that too.
Are you sure that's legal?
Fuck legal. Let me tell you something, Costa. Whatever it takes in this fucking
This
world.
show is legal. We're practically Radio Marty out here broadcasting to Cuba. We're like Wolfman Jack down in Mexico.
We're lifting audio without copyright. We're doing showing pictures without any kind of copyrights. I'll go to jail for this show.
I broke my leg, so that's that.
That's right. Isn't that illegal?
And I'm hearing what's his name might be on the market. That's insane.
Isn't that illegal?
Ryan
He's probably
Strom.
got 800 gig of
not?
downloaded porn that he stole, and he's worried about us. He's also stealing a cameo video.
Yeah. All right. Now, what'd you say? You were saying something else, Costa. In this, why you're developing pictures in your bedroom?
Would you fucking trade Ryan Strom? Are you fucking serious?
About what?
Ryan
Are
Strom?
the pictures ready yet? Your dark room there? No, listen.
Live from a photo mat.
He's like Batman in there. There he goes.
Yeah, that's better.
Let's go. Why are we buying? What about Ryan Strom? I missed it.
I'm hearing he might be on the market too.
Why? I like Ryan Strom.
Exactly. Why would you trade Ryan Strom? Why?
I don't know. I don't think so. He's cheap. He's done a lot of.
Oh God, he's going. Jim's going.
Yeah.
We got him. We got him good. We got him good.
It's me, you, Costa. It's much cooler in here with the lights off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you, Peter Fox, saying the cap space thing is annoying. But hey, listen, I believe the cap space saved the New York Rangers. If it didn't, Glenn said they would still be spending his money willy-nilly on every old free agent. So anyway, let's not go backwards. Let's get forward. Are you okay, Jim?
And in closing.
In closing.
In
Your summer report card.
Finally, my friends.
Finally, my friends. Wrapping it all
My
up.
fellow Americans.
What I did on my summer vacation.
As of 7/31/19 at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. What do you think the Rangers will do this season? As of now.
Record-wise?
No, I'm like
put your hat back on.
Like me, they got to make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, there's no excuses.
Bubble. Oil, boil in trouble. If I think the Rangers win, we'll double. Oh, blessings, my friends. Blessings, Costa. Blessings, Jim. I believe that the Rangers will make the playoffs. Why am I Irish? I don't know. But I will tell you this, my friends. It will be a much more enjoyable Rangers season.
I will tell you this, my friend. They will win at least 35 games. Jacob Trouba. Oh, let me tell you, Jacob Trouba.
You do the voice, I'll do the mimicking.
Watch out for Jacob Trouba and Adam Fox. They will be the keys, my friend. Very, very good. Very good. 35 wins.
All right. Enough with that. Man, we're really Pat's getting a lot of mileage.
If it was up to me, based on what we've done this offseason, if we get to a Final Four, I'll be doing cartwheels.
Oh, I'm not even thinking that far. I'm just saying it was hard to lose. I said this on previous shows. Last year, it was hard to stink. I think they've improved the team. It really depends on Hank. This is the first season I think we go into where the goaltending is a question mark.
I'll say this. I think defensively will be better defensively. I think.
Can't
Would you agree?
Can't be much worse. Yes,
exactly.
Two things. Eric Donnelly chimes in here and says that Strome stock is high. Yeah, I agree. And he had a crazy high shooting percentage, but he was good in a lot of aspects. And really, that deal was if he would have gotten 12 goals or 10 goals or 8 goals, that deal with Ryan Spooner was
highway robbery.
Highway robbery.
A heist.
So, yes.
A Barrett Heiston.
Ryan Strome certainly is not a second line center. We know that. Right now, he's penciled in as the second line center. Ryan Strome.
Yeah.
He's not a second line.
We have too many pivots on this team.
Yes. So I kind of
pivot. Friggin'
Howden.
Tito's a pivot.
Anderson.
Anderson's a pivot. Friggin' who else you got? Nemistikov's a pivot.
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 The only centers we got is Zibanejad and
Heedle.
No.
Oh, that's right. They do switch him.
And Brett Howden. That's it. Those are our two.
How about Elias?
This is a family.
Yeah, it's Coaster After Dark over there.
Jeez, oh boy.
Anyway, so
see what you've done? See what we've done?
I see what he's doing over here. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Rangers. So I don't really want to. Maybe I don't know what's. There's so much intangibles to see, but it's hard not to make the NHL playoffs. I saw it last year, and you got Artemi Panarin. I mean, this guy is gonna. And if what are you laughing at?
Oh God,
Rock.
He's got the
Rock
call.
because he completes the line. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Rock knows his friends.
Wow. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Listen, we're all excited. We're laughing. We're giggling here. We're having a good time. But it is
for now until the season, and then people are going to start going knocking futz.
Well, listen, at least we got last year no hope. The year before that, even less hope. Now this year the hope returns. We got young. We're ready to go, and all that stuff.
Sam and Joe, the nose awakens.
Oh God,
It'll be very exciting.
I can't stand those two already. And then you get the double dose of Sam. Well, you don't really get the double dose because he does football, but then we got to deal with Giannone for the first 8 games.
Monotone.
Oh, monotone's the worst. Styrofoam packing peanuts have more of a personality than that guy. That guy is boring.
I'm telling you.
What?
Since we're on the illegal, since you said about talking about illegal, you two need to do a fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000 type deal with a game or some shit like that. That'd be a fucking trip.
You mean do a broadcast after the game or live during the game?
Yeah, almost. But like Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, I know, like we overdub it. We do our own thing.
Like they do on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I know. I love that show. It's great. So, anywho, yes, it's duly noted, Costa. Go back into your lair. Hey, listen, you keep me cool over there. It's dark over here anyway now. So,
yeah.
It's dark. So, any advice? No advice. Don't give me any advice. I'm changing my question. So, yes. I think the Rangers will. I think they got a shot at the playoffs. A lot of people. I'm just saying. The shot. I mean, you don't know these guys. We slot these guys in. This guy's a first line center, and these guys are young. You don't know. I mean, Kravtsov could get 7 goals. Kakko could get 14. You know, we don't know.
I mean, on paper, this should be a playoff team. On paper, right?
you're going to try to convince other GMs. They look at the Rangers defensemen and go, look, well, no, they got Mark Stahl, they got Brady Shea, they got Adam Fox, Jacob Trouba. They're going to say that isn't a playoff defense.
They're going to be afraid of a lot of goals on paper. A lot of goals, potentially.
Give up a lot of goals with that defense on paper.
Hey, years ago, Pittsburgh was the same type of team. Years ago, they still go a lot of goals, but they gave up a lot of goals, and they won a cup.
Yeah, but they had Sidney Crosby and
they had Lemieux and they had fucking Yager.
Oh, okay. So we got Lemieux and Yager. I don't understand this parallel.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got Brandon Lemieux. And you still got fucking that fakakta fucking Brendan Smith. What are you gonna do with him?
You're gonna bury his ass.
He's gonna become Chris Knobloch's new best friend down there.
Exactly.
So that's more dead cap.
Bolesky too.
Do we have? Well, then he still counts towards the cap somewhat if we send it out.
We get about $1,075,000, $7,500. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, 60 cents. Now let me tell you. You know what's really now? It's really bugging me and it's bringing me down.
What?
Is that every year, the last 4 or 5 years, we're spending all these money on defensemen. 6 years. This is what you were worried about with Trouba, and it's kind of hitting me now. And we're finding the same cycle: buyout, buyout, buyout. After this, I'm calling what do you call them? A moratorium.
I'm telling you right now, they better not sign. They better not get no more defensive guys in here. We got enough. We have plenty.
We better not be locking up any more defensemen for 6 years or paying them $5-6 million anymore. They're done. That's what I say. All right.
That's what I think.
All right. The shadow knows. Only the shadow knows. Yes. All right. All right, Goggles Paisano. We'll see you on the next show.
Right. Take care, Costa.
Take care.
Costa taking you to the pier tomorrow already?
No. I don't even know. I'm supposed to go to
he's not providing round trip transfers?
Oh no. No. Nope. Gotta say something good about Costa, man. Costa comes to every one of my Idiot Box shows, man. I give mad props to him. And Rocco Sansone was down there and all kinds of other stuff. These guys, they show up for us, man. That's why I say the friends that we've made through the show have been so great. And I hope to meet more of you. And Costa will always say the same thing at one of my shows. He goes, but we got to get the band back together. And I'm like, the band is back together. We're playing tonight. He goes, no, the band. Because that's his way of saying we got to have a viewing party.
Right.
And, I can't wait to meet some of the new people we've got met through the Facebook because we've kind of expanded our audience too,
right? Absolutely.
Quite a lot. So I'd love to meet some of you guys in person.
I've already got some dates in mind for viewing parties. We'll talk about it when we're both back from vacation. We got time. So
yeah.
We'll talk to Matt Morello. He's been waiting patiently.
Oh, cool.
What's up, Matt?
What's up, boys? Long time no speak.
Hey, Matt. How are you?
It's your first appearance on the video show, correct?
First time. It took a while, but I finally figured it out.
Everybody, this is Matt.
What's up, everybody?
So, Matt, what would you like to expound on? What would you like to articulate to the millions watching?
I mean, first of all, to follow Costa is an impossible task.
Yes.
But I'll try.
But it will certainly be an upgrade. I can tell you that much.
Thank you. I agree with you and Costa on the no more extending the defenseman thing. Because, first of all, why they did it for Shea blows my mind. He had one good year his rookie year, and the 5 years they gave him, to me, was ridiculous. But I feel it almost hampered the future because now they had to do all this stuff for Trouba, and they had to now make all these maneuvers off of one good year. He came off a bad year, and he's only been worse again ever since.
Yeah, and who knows? He could be bought out down the line too. I mean, again, they really jumped the gun on the defenseman. I mean, we go Girardi, Stahl.
Contract brings us closer to their buyout. You remember when they signed Brad Richards, and like the next day, fans were already speculating when his buyout would be.
Yeah,
And he was, 31 or 32 when we brought him in? It wasn't even 28 or 27.
Right.
the Rangers. This happened with Brendan Smith too. They couldn't wait after a good playoff to lock him up. So whoever's evaluating these people, now listen, Brendan Smith had a good playoff, and we all acknowledge that. But was it worth that kind of contract for a guy who really was never really anything in Detroit? He wasn't, outstanding with them. But we were eager, and then Sather said last year, "Look at him, he's in such great shape," and all that. I could care less. It's that you got to be financially, you got to think forward thinking.
And to have him be a forward half the time, and you guys had said it throughout the year. The one thing I could not stand that Quinn was doing was that putting him at forward in certain instances and then bouncing him back on the blue line. He never contributed as a forward. It wasn't like he was hitting and throwing his body around where you can say his muscle or I don't understand what his logic behind that was.
Yeah, that was, I was one of the few criteria I had of Quinn was that move. I think it was more of Brendan Smith works hard in practice. He gets what Quinn is laying down. And whenever, somebody's in the Quinn bin, he'll throw Smith out there because of that reason. I can't see why, skill-wise or any reasoning for him being out there other than that. Just as a listen, he works hard in practice. Buchnevich isn't playing so well, or whatever forward he was picking on that week. It doesn't make sense. He shouldn't be in the lineup. If he's not a defenseman, he doesn't belong in the lineup.
No, and I think this year we won't see that at all because with all the young guys that are either going to be competing for spots or are going to get them, hopefully with the new group of young players, we don't see that defenseman being a forward thing ever come into fruition. The other thing I wanted to with Buchnevich, I know he got the 2-year bridge at 3.25. I'm not, again, unlike Joey Pants there, who, lets out a load every time this guy does anything great. I'm not very high on him. I thought, he got it together last year, but he did at the end of the year when we were pretty much toast. So he kind of had the renaissance when the pressure was off. I'm not so keen on him. Again, if he proves me wrong this year, I'll admit to it. But I don't want to be Mr. Costa with all the money and breaking it down, but I thought $3 million for him was interesting.
Well, I listen. I have been a Buchnevich critic. I think it wasn't so much. I thought the other teams let up and Buchnevich got better because of that. It was because I thought that Quinn really got through to him. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. So I have no problem with the deal. I just have problems with people getting he's untradeable, and getting really crazy about him. I was a big VZ guy. Now he's gone, and I always thought it was VZ versus Buchnevich. Who do you like better? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I think the fact that I don't miss Jimmy Vesey, just going off that, means that really he wasn't that important to me, and maybe he wasn't very important to the Rangers. I mean, do you ever sit go, "Oh, we lost Vesey. What are we going to do?" No, nobody's thinking that.
Well, so my girlfriend is one of the people.
Matt's girlfriend is a Jimmy Vesey.
That was not a happy. We were actually on vacation. We were in Arizona the day of the first, and that was a conversation I put off for hours, having to explain that. Matt, had went down.
If you want some Jimmy Vesey rookie cards and memorabilia, I got plenty of them.
When you know what, I might take them off your hands.
Real cheap. real cheap.
You got a buyer.
I really thought he was going to be something really. I didn't think he was going to be like all the hype, but I thought he'd be a 20, 25.
But that was the problem, I think, was the hype that came in with him from the beginning, with every team in the league trying to get him when he became a UFA, and them talking about how he was. And this was another. What was he? 22 when he came out of college, or 20, 23? Some really
Something like
old.
that.
And that it was kind of the Gilroy thing all over again, where this Hobie Baker winner who comes out and comes into the league that's a little
bit
older, gets overhyped. And is he a bad player? No, but how many times did you sit there and go, Jimmy Vesey took over a game, or his presence was really felt? I can't name many times, except for that very early part of his career, where in his first 10 games he scored like 6 goals.
Yes, and also I think he had so many chances last year and couldn't put the puck in that. And that's really been the story of his career. He gets a lot of opportunities, which gets him. People get frustrated with him, and he's a big body. I mean, he's got a little head, but he's a big body. He's not a small kid. He's 6'3", and who knows? God bless you, Jimmy Vesey, wherever you are. But Buchnevich. I don't know, Jim, how do you feel about Buchnevich? I think me and you were similar on him.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, I didn't get, I didn't really get all excited about him like the others did, but he played very well down the stretch. We'll see. I think we'll see next year if that was a question of was the pressure off and he just kind of had nothing to play for and he was loose and everything, or did Quinn really get through to him? Which obviously we hope is the case. While I hesitate to make line combos in July, I will say that the idea of him playing with Panarin and Zibanejad, I would like to see that for at least a couple of games and see what happens. I would like to see the three of them together.
All right, so there you go.
And by the way, our moron counterparts, the idiots who would pay $300 to Mr. Moneybags.
We have counterparts.
Well, fair argument. How stupid are you to drop $300 to give Mr. Baldhead
I love it. I love the Messier.
This is Mark Messier. You're listening to the best show on the internet.
There you go.
Show with Jim and Eddie. There.
That's it. There you go.
Now, I don't love him. Again, I'm a little younger, so I wasn't around for 94. So the Messier that I remember was the guy who was just the shell of himself at the end, and the bury the hatchet ceremony, which was a debacle. But he's such a douche. And then to sit there and, he's always talking about the Ranger fan and how great they are. Oh, but they weren't that great when you left for Vancouver for the 3 years.
That's right.
Because your father told you to take more money. Oh,
I swear. Matt, me and you are simpatico on this, man. I take a lot of grief.
How long do we have to keep paying for that cup?
I mean, listen, he is probably the greatest leader in sports history. He's definitely thank God that you brought me a Stanley Cup and you were a great hockey player. Kudos, go to the Hall of Fame ceremony. But he is a cheap, money-grabbing bastard. I heard enough stories. I've heard enough stories. And listen, you can hate me all you want. I don't care.
He wouldn't come. You mean to tell me if his number was not retired by us, that he would show up to, and whether it was Hadfield or any of the ones we had the last couple of years? You know he wouldn't. It's probably in his agreement that because he got his number retired, he's got to show up to every one of the other ones.
Probably, and his airfare and all that probably has to stay in the best hotels and all that stuff. Listen, the man is. And then he had that stupid hockey helmet he made. It was supposed to be like save you from concussions.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
What happened to that?
I remember that thing.
I think Ronco picked that up now. Ronco's helmet.
That thing looked like an alien helmet. I remember that thing. What was that? The M11 helmet or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And
even that had to be named after him.
And that thing I think was ridiculous. It was like $500 or something. They want that David Wright helmet. Remember when he had the head thing and they
Yeah.
put that big?
It was like a great kazoo.
Yeah, great
oh,
to do.
that company probably filed for bankruptcy with Theo Fleury after after that thing hit the market.
Well, Sean McCaff's talking about Jacob, and he that is true. Eddie will not go unless he's getting paid, but his sons kind of run the whole deal over there. You know, Eddie's a little geriatric at this point. He always has been like that. But getting back to, Messier makes Hank look humble. I mean, that's what it did. That's a
tough task to do.
I know. That's the way I view it. He's more of
he
a
makes
diva.
it like he's doing a charity event.
Yeah.
There's a picture of that helmet.
That's the David Wright helmet.
It's the Mark Messier. That's the M11 right there.
So the M11 being featured right there.
The one time he was actually about the Rangers was when we traded his rights to San Jose, and he said, "You know what? I'll retire and give it up."
That's true. And, that Vancouver thing always irked me. It just did not sit well with me. So I'm with you on that. I think a lot of people will watch this show and go, again, I call them pedestrian Ranger fans. Maybe I should, maybe because they don't agree with me, I call them pedestrian Ranger fans, but it wasn't all what it seemed to be. It wasn't like he's the hero. I like to look at it like a guy like Adam Graves. You couldn't find one bad thing about that guy. All of those guys. Every one of them, from the 94 team and other Rangers, you tell they're good people. Now, I don't know.
Leach's worst thing about him is that he can get drunk sometimes and get in a fight with his wife in that bar or whatever the news story was a couple of months ago.
Yeah, he got drunk while he was a Ranger and stepped out of a taxi cab and broke his ankle.
Right.
No, I'm saying, did you see the new one?
Yeah.
Where his wife got drunk and got into a fight with somebody, and then he had to get involved.
They're Irish. What do you want? That's what the Irish do. Hey, we talk about Italians on this show. We can't talk about the Irish. We have it that stupid fakakta Irish pub all the time.
We don't. Yeah, but that's. I'm just kidding.
All right. So don't get all politically correct with me. You're the politically incorrect guy.
Never.
So yes.
I'm just worried about our one sponsor.
Yes.
Slattery. Oh, I guess there's going to be a voicemail next week. Oh, this is Jonas Flannery. You think it's funny to make fun of the Irish on your show, do you?
Guess what?
Tell you something, Boyle.
You're cancelled. There'll be no more underground parties here. You're off the air. Take that in your shillelagh.
Go back to the Molly. No problem.
Speaking of parties, Ed.
You flying fuck.
Wow.
Speaking of parties, Ed, when are we going to do me, you, Costa, a little Long Island contingent?
That'd be great, Matt. I'd definitely be down for that.
We could do it either outside the Comac Motor Inn or at Anthony's Cold Fire Pizza.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys rent a room at the Comac Motor Inn and do it?
No.
In the room.
No, that could be true to something completely different.
As Costa says, no homo.
Yeah, no homo.
The funny part, and I kid you not. It's right down the road from my house.
Really?
Yeah, nope. I literally live. We could walk from my house to the Comac Motor Inn.
How many times you been to that White Castle over there? Is that a no-go for you?
That's a no-go for me.
Yeah.
That's the biggest White Castle in America.
Get out of here!
No joke. That is a fact.
A White Castle?
I had it once. Didn't end well.
It never does.
Oh, it's well. Never ends well. There's no person who says, I went to White Castle.
I get it. At the beginning. It's not even that great in the beginning. Let's admit it. It's not even that great in the beginning. It's like eating baby food. It's all mushy. And, it's good. For us oldest people, it brings back the memories. But for a younger person, why do you want to put your large intestine through that? I mean, come on.
Next viewing party's at White Castle.
Yeah, the biggest White
All right.
Castle.
The biggest
It
one.
is. I'm telling you.
That
is the biggest one in the country.
I did not know that. Wow.
We're gonna have an eating
Comac,
contest
New York.
the next viewing party at White Castle.
Yeah, Costa's talking about the Green Turtle in Smithtown. I've been there a couple times. I didn't get the best service there. Have you been there, Matt?
I haven't.
It's off
heard of it,
347 where
is it near the mall or not really?
kind of it's you know where the car dealerships are?
Oh yeah.
The O'Rourke dealership, it's down 347 that way. It's a sports
okay.
bar. Do you guys have that, Jim? Anybody have that? The Green Turtle Sports Bar?
No.
Yeah, the service wasn't great when I was there a couple times, but I've never been there to watch sports. Eric Vanko will be there even though he's in Indiana.
I'll say this: Miller's Ale House over here, back in the